Hello, I am live on Twitch on a Friday. I'm really sorry that I can't provide much of a routine at the moment. I just come online when I think I've got a minute. Once upon a time, when I was. Once upon a time when my life was less busy, I'm sort of dancing around the idea that I want to have a level of. I keep using a lot of euphemisms, right? So when I say I'm very busy these days, it's because of family stuff. And once, when I was a man with less responsibilities, all these ridiculous euphemisms I'm using, um, when I had these sort of free moments, rather than stream, which is my new endeavour, I would have basically been animating, except I would have done it off camera. But because of the nature of how I work these days, yeah, it just feels like I can stream whilst doing the same thing I would have done off camera once upon a time. Um, yeah, I think it's because I've put a lot of work into lots of projects. And sorry, I'm coming in really hot, aren't I? First of all, hello. Um, this is a. I need to learn to point. What you're listening to right now on Twitch is Floating Points playing a live set on the Lot Radio. Well, I say live. Live on the 7th of November 2025. I really like Floating Points. I think he's both a really good music producer and also a really good DJ. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I want to stream my process because I've done so much personal work, which has been, to use the old term, hidden under a bushel. Yeah, I want to show every step of the process from nuts to soup. Although my problem with that whole analogy of nuts to soup, or is it soup to nuts? No, it's soup to nuts. My thing is, who's eating nuts at the end of a meal? Is that a thing? I would have thought it would have been like soup to dessert or soup to digestive, when you're having like your little tipple after your meal to help digest. Hence the name, digestive. I don't know why I'm rambling. I'm going to work not for a huge amount of time, maybe like an hour or so, because I have other chores to do. Remember when I was saying just less than a couple of minutes ago, I've got all these responsibilities now because I'm such an old man. Oh, we've got Floating Points talking on this mix. I don't know if that's a good idea. Let's skip past that. Stop talking, music boy. Just play the music. Yeah, that wasn't me talking. That was Floating Points on this recorded mix. So let's go to this view. And I think for today, I'm actually not. Yesterday I was kind of really wondering if these colour combos worked. And I think they do. I think the grey is fine for this circular saw. I wonder though if I maybe just change the orange into a different colour. Not red though, that's obnoxious. I think I will leave it orange for now. Hold on, let me have a look at what the other options are. And then after I've faffed around with that, I want to what do I want to do? I want to do the colouring of these things down here, and then sort of do the same thing for this table here. So basically that'll be all the middle ground stuff, apart from these letters, done. Sorry, I look here because I could just look here, couldn't I? I could just look here. Yeah, it just means I can I'm doing it in stages. So I've done the foregrounds, and again, these are just the flat colours at the moment, no shading particularly. And picking out detail with the colour, and obviously there's all these bits at the back shelf here. Anyway, I wonder if I pick a different orange or even a yellow for these colours. Let's turn that off for a minute. Turn off. No, not that. Pink. Let's have a look. No, definitely not pink. Yellow, possibly yellow. I don't think the red works myself. Let's have a look. No. Pink is, you see, this layer, I'm trying for it to be all quite subdued, and that red does not speak that to me. Neither does the yellow. How about this yellow? I think I'm just going to resort to it being that orange, for now. Okay, fine. I'll try green. This yellowy green. Oh, wrong bit. No. It's got to be the orange, hasn't it? Fine, we'll leave it at the orange. Actually, you know what? There's a couple of little trinkety bits here which need colouring too, so let me just quickly do those. I'm hoping to basically have the whole middle section of this table section done by the end of the stream. Okay, so I think this one, let's turn the strokes back on. Sorry, because I've only just opened up Toon Boom, it kind of struggles a bit with the zooming. I think eventually it'll sort of cache all the zoom levels. I think that's how it works, by using my intuition. Oh, excuse me. Still yawning. It's like the minute I sit down and start concentrating on something, I start yawning, which is probably not particularly inspiring, is it? Does that pink work? What if I make it the punchier pink? No, I think I prefer that pink. And then I think this could probably be another pink too. Whatever it is. Items behind things, just random items. Random shapes to... Random shapes to convey a sense of things being busy. And then there's two lumpy bits on the bottom, little square bits here. What could they be? Maybe they could be red without it being too obnoxious. Or actually maybe brown. Or even maybe that colour actually. Really subdued, you know. Background noise. this one, this particular shelf. Background noise of a sort. Oh, I keep turning strokes off. There we go. Look. Whoa. Floating Points just turned up the treble on his mix. So I'm going to turn it down ever so slightly. There we go. Okay, so that's those bits. Pretty much done. So let's now move on to these shapes. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stroke it all. First of all, let's tidy up this line work. What's going on over here? This is no good. Let's cut that. Delete these bits that are overshooting. There we go. Any more like that? Yes, there's this one here too. Cut. Wipe you out. I mean, I don't want it to be mega tidy, but just where it seems obviously like it's not meant to be like that. I'll delete. I want the line work to be slightly lively, you know. I don't want it to be too perfect because we're living in an age of perfection, so-called perfection, and so yeah, you want the handiwork to shine through. Okay, let's turn the strokes back on, and let me just, I'm going to stroke all these objects off because then I can just plop colour in very, you know, like intuitively. Also gives me like a moment to do something quite monotonous and therefore maybe be a bit more chatty. It's Friday. How's everyone's Friday going? Are you watching this at home? Are you watching this at work? Are you watching this on the go? If you're watching this on the go, I admire your I mean, I guess it depends. If you're sat down like on a train, then that's fine. But if you're walking and watching this, I admire your chutzpah. Because the amount of times people watching things on their phone whilst walking on the street either bump into me or nearly bump into me is, it's always an interesting choice, I think. It's like you've said to yourself, I can do two things at once that entirely take up my attention. That is to say, walking on a street where there are roads and cars and people, but also watch a stream and be fully involved with that too. Actually, you know what better would be if I did this and this. Yeah, I think floating points, and I'm really sorry to YouTube watchers, I'm doing that thing where I'm, oh sorry, phone is vibrating, let me turn it on silent. Sorry about that, very rude. Me and floating points, like as if I know the guy. Oh, I'm pretty sure I just turned you on silent. Here we go, there we go. Now it is on silent. Right. Where was I? I'm pretty sure me and floating points My best friend, Floating Points, he's not. I've never met the man. I think we're sort of similar in age. But his taste in music and my taste... he's my taste. In a lot of instances, he's a tastemaker for me a little bit, you know, musically. He introduced me recently to Fairuz, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who is a very well-known, apparently a very well-known Syrian singer from the 70s. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I just want to get rid of that stroke rather than the whole fill. That's fine, I guess. Can I just select the stroke? I have to do it that way, do I? Okay, fine. Well, in that case, let me do this. I won't make that mistake again. How about if I do this? Grab you, delete. Now delete you. This is this weird quirky nonsense that sometimes Toon Boom does. Okay, and now I can go Control-Shift-V. Or just Control-V. Okay. Maybe I press delete rather than cut. There we go. Does that work? Oh. What happened here? I mean, I know how to fix it, but that was not my intention to also have this gaping hole. Oh. Also, it's done something weird here. Oh, goodness me. So if I do my stroke tool again, if I do that, can I get rid of you as a fill? Great, and then now I need to make a fill here. Not quite sure what happened there. Hashtag just Toon Boom things. Yeah, I'm on the right layer. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. If I turn that off, that looks all fine, doesn't it now? Yes. Okay, turn the strokes back on. Where were we? I think what I might do is delete this line actually and create one long stroke for this whole length of table, because I'm going to be filling it as it is anyway. So if I, oh no, a bit wibbly wobbly. That's an adjective I use a lot. Oh, thanks Floating Points. Am I going to get in trouble for having Floating Points talk on my stream? I hope not. No offense, Floating Points. I just like this mix you did, and I'd forgotten that you actually talk on it, over it. Okay, I don't think I need it longer than that. I'm just doing something creative, like you are. Don't sue me. He seems like a good guy, so I think the likelihood of me getting in trouble with having his voice on my stream is kind of low. Anyway, if he sues me, I'll counter-sue him. So, you know, all's fair in love and war. What did he say this was? The Sugar Hill Gang? I thought that was a rap troupe. Or the Sugar Hill Band? I always thought the Sugar Hill Gang were the guys that did that really, seminal early 80s. What was there, like, the really famous bit of rap history they did? Somebody will know. What's everyone drinking on this Friday? I keep closing my flask, so I'm going to open it over here because it makes a really annoying click. There we go. Hopefully that wasn't too loud, because I used to do it very close to the microphone and it was really loud. So now I try to leave it open. Cheers. Salud. That's right. Last time I was on the stream, I thought of introducing a foam panel to the behind. Oh, first of all, I didn't bring this up actually. Sorry. I mean, not that it really matters hugely, but I have just on this camera here, I have a Canon EOS 1300D as my sort of presenter cam. And I have zoomed in ever so slightly, like about 5%, I think, onto my visage. Because I thought when I'm this small, when I'm in this bit, I was a little bit too small, but I didn't want to make the window bigger. The window that I'm in this box, this little container, I wanted it to stay the same size. So yeah, I just thought, I'd zoom in with the camera, because to be honest, you're not missing a huge amount more. I mean, now when I've got my hand on my Wacom, you can't really see it, but then you can see it with that other camera view I've got, this one, which I barely ever use, like this. I was going to use this if I ever did paper animation, but getting the lighting right is quite tricky, actually. So, as I'm working digitally at the moment, I never really use that view, but it does let me show you my hand to prove that I'm not faking anything. But I was talking yesterday, on yesterday's stream, about having a foam panel here, because then it lets the microphone, maybe it'll stop the fans, because my computer's right behind the microphone, and maybe that would help dampen the sound of the fans of my CPU as it chugs away at processing all these vectors and strokes and fills and eventually animation. You know? Oh, sounds like Floating Points is taking us a bit more into the world of dance now. That's why I like Floating Points a lot. He's very broad in his musical tastes. He kind of does it all. Classically trained, as in music, also a scientist. He's kind of a genius, like me. That's why I relate to him so much. Except he's a recognised genius and I'm not. I'm only joking. Honestly, I don't have that kind of an ego. Never openly, anyway. Although we are living in an age of where having a raging ego is actually very fashionable. So maybe I should lean into it and maybe I'd get loads of more follows, you know. Could start becoming like an influencer of some sort. I think you need to have quite a big ego to be an influencer because you need to be very sure that your influence, like, you kind of feel like you have to have the right, don't you? I've got the goddamn right to tell people how to improve their lives, right? I think that takes balls. Balls. Know what I mean? I guess it's this. No, I think it's different. It's not the same kind of precociousness as being an actor. I don't think. I think when you're an actor, you know, there are plenty of stories of actors who are actually very shy people, and acting is more of like a persona that they put on. You know, like acting lets them open up in a way they wouldn't be able to with their normal natural personality. And I think being an influencer is actually, if anything, a bit more like being a performance artist, which is different to being an actor, in that, well, I suppose you could say with performance art. Okay, I think I'm trying to make a distinction here of somebody who thinks their personality is right. It's only right that their personality, who they are, their identity, their individualism is worthy of being made public, right? So therefore there's a level of egotism there, and you know, egotism, especially in that kind of isn't necessarily a bad thing, is what I'm saying. You know, there are sometimes you need to be a bit of an egotist, but it's it's more about who they are rather than some kind of persona that they are taking on like an actor would. Alright, I need to remember that I can't go into these sorts of rambles too much when I'm drawing because I don't make a huge amount of sense, and then I start distracting myself, and then also I end up not making very much sense. I suppose, like a lot of terminologies, also influencer has kind of become a very broad catch-all term. I mean, you could argue that just being a living creature with agency on this planet makes you an influencer. Every time I pick up a cup, I'm influencing that cup. You know what I mean? So it means meaningless these days, isn't it? It's all meaningless. I think I've said this before, but that character, that voice, I have ripped off Adam Buxton almost entirely wholesale. The kind of media wanker voice that he does, it's actually very good, and I use it quite a lot. Media wanker. Oh look, I've made a real arse of it here because this is where the table surface line is. Oh wait, but that doesn't really matter, that's the whole point. Never mind, ignore that. It's supposed to, because this table, this one, is a layer above, so it doesn't actually matter. That in fact, if anything, it's good that there's a bit of bleed underneath, because if I move anything around a little bit, it will be accounted for. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't imagine I'll be doing any moving, but the bleed is not an issue. I mean, I might do a little bit of light animation on this. I said this before, but it wouldn't include anything like this, any of these objets. I hope people don't mind me pronouncing French loanwords in English pretentiously. There's a friend of mine who occasionally turns up in the stream chat here. What's his Twitch handle? Parsley Punch. And he abhors it when non-French people, francophonic people, pronounce restaurants as restaurant, which I believe I've heard your man, what's he called, the former footballer who's now Gordon Ramsay. He definitely pronounced it restaurant. And now that my friend Parsley Punch on Twitch has pointed out the restaurant thing, of course I think about it a lot too, but I think it's quite funny. So if anything, it makes me want to pronounce it more that way, restaurant. Of course, if you were, like I am, familiar with the Japanese language, you'll know that actually that's how you would pronounce it. Well, kind of. I mean, you have a different emphasis on the which syllable you're using, but you say restaurant. So there you go. You don't pronounce any T's there. Restaurant. How do you say it in Polish? Polish is my second language. Floating points, really mixing around with the equalizer. Oh, thank you, floating points. This is not me talking, this is floating points. I'm assuming... Thank you. I mean, it's nice for him to give out the music titles. Many of the mixes I listened to, they didn't give you any information. I'm assuming you can tell the difference between my voice and Floating Points' voice. What was I talking about? Speaking of Japanese, Polish, restauracja. Yeah, there you go, restauracja. Yeah, no T's there either, but not really said in the French way either. Well, you could say restaurant is kind of a corruption of the French way of saying it. Anyway, that's Language Corner. I love languages. Language learning is like my fourth hobby? Third hobby. I shouldn't really... Drawing and animation is not really a hobby, it's more of a vocation for me. I'm going to say video games, kind of programming to a certain extent, and learning languages. Yeah, would be my hobbies. And, I mean, should I even include reading as a hobby? Reading. Thing is, I don't really have very much time to read at the moment, so it's not as much of a hobby as I'd like it to be. That'll come back, though, eventually. Eventually, I will find the odd moment in my life to read shit. Read literature. And, fiction, non-fiction. just very hard at the moment to do anything. Alright, I think that's me stroked. Oh, look. I've got this cable to do as well, which technically is part of the same layer. So let's go. Let's go. Apparently Floating Points has one of the biggest vinyl collections in the UK, if not the world. And he has like a... Does he have like a warehouse or something? Did I hear right? Something like 10,000 records, LPs? Or vinyl at least, not necessarily LPs. That's a lot. 10,000. 10,000 records. That's a lot, right? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of weight. I mean, what is the standard LP? 120 grams or something? So that's a lot of weight. Like a ton of vinyl. Oh, I hope he doesn't try to carry it all at once. He'd do his back in. Okay, let's now... Right, so I've stroked this all off, so now it's technically just... Not even technically, it is a matter of thinking about the composition and dropping in colours. Let's go! Again, kind of subdued. Do I want... Sorry, I'm just processing. Do I want this colour? A little bit of pink I've got here. I'm going to change that colour. That's what I'm going to do right now. To what? Possibly to a green, actually. Sorry, yeah, there's like a tiny little bit of pink here, which I will now change. Really big, important stuff. Did I get that green? I did green 4, perfect. Paste that there, there we go. Yeah, that's better to me. Do you see that little, tiny little bit of green there? Anyway, let's now focus on the other bits. That's going to be green. Right? No, actually that's not going to be green. Where is there not much green? Here. That's going to be the green there, that shade of green in particular. Hold on. What's going on here? What's this line? I didn't understand this. What's this? It's nothing I recognise. But what I could do with it is... Oh, you gonna let me grab it? Oh, I see what it is. Right, okay. That is actually a little shard from the layer above. This one? No, this one? Yeah. It is meant to be one of these bits, but I never filled it in. Like one of these bits here. So go to the fill. Turn the strokes on. I see, I didn't clock it, but now I am. So I will make that probably that yellow again. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I figured that out. Sometimes it takes colouring stuff to notice these sorts of bits that are just sort of seemingly random, but actually are not. There we go. So if I do that, now I grab them both, delete them both. Now I can get rid of this redundant stroke, and then I can go back to that. Alright. Okay, now back to my previous layer. Cool. And what was it? I was going to make... I've already forgotten. It was one of the shades of green. I think it was this shade of green. And I want to make this box that green. There we go. I think that works. And I want that to be probably the grey. This straight up grey. Again, going for the more subdued bits of the palette. Is that the same as the scissors? It is. Does that matter? So what, maybe go for that bluey grey instead. This one. There's quite a lot of that around there though. I don't think it actually matters that it's that grey, that's fine. Because then I think maybe some of the bits here I will make that bluier grey, like that. It's not me talking. This is not me talking. That was floating points, not me. It's in some respects, what you're getting here is a 2-for-1 deal. You're getting me and you're getting floating points. International DJ superstar and producer, so you're welcome. You're really welcome. I need to make sure next time I stream though I don't play a mix that has the DJ rabbiting on like he is. Incessant rabbiting on. Okay, let's go for one of these brick colours. Alt I. Shush! 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 Don't make me change what I'm playing, please. Guess I could actually go for this one. Grab that, fill that, there we go, that's that little bit of the corner done. Oh, and you know what the funny thing is, I keep forgetting, is that on YouTube you don't hear any of this. So, sorry people watching VODs, but yeah, if it isn't really obvious, the mix I'm listening to, occasionally Floating Points is chipping in with what he's playing. Which is helpful, but not so helpful when I'm talking and suddenly you hear him behind me talking. Although I do have audio dipping on, so hopefully I will always win in that fight, vocal fight. I've got the technology working with me. What time is it? Okay, 44 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to do this layer quickly. Although I'm not working that quickly, am I? And then do a little bit of the one behind it in the same similar sort of fashion. And then go, because I've got other stuff to do. I wonder if I should actually just restrict it to this palette that I've got here. No, I want one more colour in there, I think. Like one more shade. Not brown biscuit, because the tables are that colour. Are the oranges a little bit too... Are these guys a bit too bright? They are a little bit too bright. How about this one? No. And that's basically brown. Although the brown could work. Bit dark, isn't it? Beige? Beige is going to be too bright, yeah. Can you imagine that? Beige being too bright. What a world. This yellow? That's not terrible, but not there, I don't think. There. Brick. Have I already used this colour? I haven't actually. That works. That's quite a good colour. Good to have that in the back as well, because it's darker that way, isn't it? Darker bits here and there. Yeah, there you go. Although it might need to be darker still. Maroon. Too dark. Dark purple. No, I prefer the maroon if I'm going to have a dark colour behind there. Or did that work better? Maybe that's too insipid. I don't mind it though, like in that context. I think what I'll do is I'll end up using like these 5 hues and then maybe having one little pop here and there. You know what I mean? What I do, I have that maroon, and there's also this dark purple. Is that too dark though? I think that's a bit too dark. I wonder if actually better this colour than that maroon. Yeah, I think so. No, I think the maroon is good. So that means the next question is, What do I do about these other spaces that are ostensibly looking through? Brown biscuit is the same as the table colour, so that's no good. We've already been through that. That pink is going to be too much, too much, too much. Much too much. I've tried this one already, haven't I? That'll do, I suppose, for now. Could do it twice, I suppose. Is that too much? How about this one actually is... what's the darkest green I have? It's the floor, isn't it? So that's maybe this one. Oh yeah, that doesn't look too badly. In fact, should that both be? No, I think that works well. I want that maybe to be a little bit of a pop. Yeah. I've changed my mind. I'm going to make this tiny little bit red, I think. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I think that kind of works for now. Except I'm going to do one thing, and that is change that to this. And change dark purple. Do I need to just make it 2 tones rather than this multiple level of tones? I'm beginning to lean towards yes. So, hold on. I change that to that. And then I go to this one and change that to this. I think that works better. Again, shading will help, I think, here too. Later on I'll make it a little bit more, a little darker underneath the tables. But I think that works okay now. Okay, so I'm going to do something very similar, but without line work on the layer behind. Oh look, we have here a fill that isn't supposed to be there. And I can see why. There we go. And then get rid of that. Goodbye. Get out of here. Okay. So the quickest way to do it, and the laziest way to do it, is simply to grab this sort of like bunch of colours. What would be the best way to do that? Probably like this. Is this lazy or is this being efficient? I'm going to call it being efficient. You should learn to be efficient too in your lives. Oh look, I need to do a fill there too. Paste. Oh, he keeps changing the old EQ, this guy, doesn't he? And then put it on the underlay, sub-layer underlay. Sub-underlay, look, flip it. And then you can sort of play around with scale and where it goes. There you go. Something like that, you see. Nobody's any the wiser that I've cheated there. I mean, I might need to scale it down a bit more. Perfect. Alright. Oh dear, excuse me. That can go there. Meaning that this one needs to be tweaked. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, I just noticed that she needs to do a little bit of a fill here. This is not me speaking, this is your musical host, Floating Points, talking right now. Please do not confuse the two of us. That would be extremely embarrassing for me. Hold on, B. Oh, I see, I'm still on that layer. Got it, got it. Still on the sub layer. Put you here, and then cut you out. Uh-oh, I've done something that Toon Boom doesn't like. Go! Haha! Haha, I didn't intend that to happen. Turn those on. Come on, Toon Boom. Wrong layer, wrong sub layer. This one. There we go. Now, can I just get rid of this? Oh, I see. Fine. Fine, you don't want me to just... I just have to manually erase you like a pleb. There we go. You happy now? Oh, wait, that's annoying. How annoying. There we go. You won, Toon Boom. You made me use the eraser tool. Yeah. Technically... I wonder if it would look really rubbish. Hold on. First of all, this layer needs to be to about there. This colour, much like here, you see, there needs to be this It's but you see that's far too bright, that doesn't look right. So I think what we do is a bit more of what I've done here. Don't know, could work. Maybe this brown. No, leave it. No, that's not fine. I think that might be fine. Yeah, just lean into some things being the same color. It's fine. If anything, you switch these over. So make that one that. Make this one probably. Was it this color? There we go. Yeah. There we go. We worked it out. Does that mean this should be that color as well? It does. Okay. So that means what? That means you can carry on with the one at the back now. Yeah. So what, we're going to do the same thing now where we took some of these guys. Let's do this one. Yeah, copy, underlayer, underlayer. Put that here. Actually, flip again. Flip. Make small. Arrange. Oh. Arrange, send to back. Right, have I done that? Arrange, send to back. Because then hopefully... Is that going over? It is. I mean, it's going under, which is what I want. I feel like there's another thing there. Let's see. Okay, no, get rid of that then. I think I want this grey here. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work at all. It was actually better with it being this colour, wasn't it? Okay, and then these are two colours. Maybe what I'll do is make that this colour. No. This colour. Thanks, floating points. Thanks, floating points. Thanks, floating points. I must reiterate, this is not me talking, this is floating points talking on the mix I'm playing. Pre-record. He's not currently, as far as I'm aware, at the Lot Radio in Brooklyn, which I'm sad to say I didn't manage to get to. I was thinking about trying to get there for when we were in New York recently, but didn't happen. I mean, what would we have done? Stood around, watched for a bit and then left? You know what I mean? It's not particularly family friendly. If I was a singleton loser, I might have gone there and like read a book or something. It's just not conducive to that kind of lifestyle right now. Don't like that grey, so I'm going to actually switch it up for this blue colour. There we go, that's better. Nearly done actually. I'm still not entirely sold on these dark colours I've done here. I may end up making kind of halfway house shades next time I'm colouring this. So they are darker, but not exactly this kind of saturated dark colour. Does that make sense? So they'll be like these beiges and browns and very pale blues, but just less vibrant. What I'm going to do now is more of the same. So I think we do this colour here. Really simple now, like that, and then maybe that colour here. No, that colour again, and then oh, I've got the colour under option on. There you go, turn that off. No, that doesn't work. Is it really just going to be two colours on this side? Possibly. I guess I could do a bit of that grey. Where's that grey gone? Where's that grey goo? Grogu gone? I think this whole chunk here needs to go up, 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 up a little bit. Or maybe not that far up, but more like that. And don't think that grey, this works here. Do I need to make... This is where I think I'm going to have to add a few more shades. So for now, I'm going to use this purple. Oh, that's way too dark. Let's try this one, which will be still too dark, but let's do it anyway. Yeah, that doesn't work. It's going to have to be some other shade there, I think. Let me use that grey for now. Where is it? This grey. Pop you there temporarily. I need one more colour here, and it's probably going to be this one. There we go. Actually, I don't want it to be like that. It's a bit too cute. More like that. And possibly actually less like that. And actually not all the way to the top. Yeah, something like that. Alright, I think that might be it for this. Yeah, this is my time. My time is up. It's 3:30. So, okay, I think my note is I need to have a couple more shades for these sorts of darker bits under the table, because at the moment it's all a bit kind of one note, and then these are too dark. So I'm going to go into my notes layer. Notes, turn that on. I can actually delete all of these notes here. These are old notes I've got written here. Pardon me. Let me grab that colour, because I think that's my notes colour. Actually, no, it's my masking colour. What layer is this? None of these, apparently. Oh. It's the line work layer. Can I deselect, please? Please deselect. Okay. S. Click anywhere. Oh boy. I don't know why am I... deselect, please. Edit. Invert selection. What? Why am I... Why am I still... Linework 3, fine, but I don't want to be on Linework 3 anymore. I want to be on my notes layer, is the one I'm working on. Thank you, weirdo. Okay, and we can turn off the strokes, guys. Keep telling you I don't need the strokes on. Okay, this would be all so much better if it wasn't quite so laggy. Alright, what was I doing? I wanted to do this. Select all. What's that? Control A. Delete. And then what layer is that? Control A. Oh, okay, it's that layer. So on the regular linework layer, this, we want this. Just that, thank you. And we can use the brush tool to make my notes. And I'm going to say make in between, no, what's a better way of saying this? Hues under, oh god, how do I phrase this? Under, I'm just going to be really like under desk. It's so rubbish. Under desk. Rear shades. This is like not the way to write a note to other people on your animation team. Under desk rear shades. What? Too dark. Under desk rear shades too dark. New lighter shades. Oh god, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know how else to phrase that though. I'm sure there is a better way of phrasing it, but that's as good as it's going to get right now without me spending hours of thinking how to rewrite that. I mean, it's just to myself. And then actually, if I do a big fat red arrow, then I will understand what the hell I'm on about. Back to the brush tool, and if I do this, point, and then, you know, really make it obvious, point, there we go. Yeah, and then I suppose these ones are quite insipid, so I'll probably end up using a few of those here too, so point, too dark or light, new shades required. Let's just do new shades required, new mid shades required. There we go. Needed. Cool. Alright. This is why I should never be a director, because I'd be giving people notes like this and they would have to come to me and say, what are you trying to say? And I'd be like, you know, hand flappy, wavy. Okay, cool. Save this as version 70. I'm afraid it didn't stick on version 69 for very long. High five. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'm glad I could live stream this again, and I'm going to now upload this to YouTube for the VOD archive and then get on with more chores. So thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day and weekend. Will I be on tomorrow? No, I think if I'm on at all next week it'll be Monday or Tuesday, I think. We'll see. There's a very small chance I might be on tomorrow, but more likely it'll be Monday or Tuesday next week. Oh, sorry, let me do this. Yeah, so bye-bye. Wow, your boy Floating Points really like cranking up the ante with this, isn't he? Probably a good time I'm going then. See everybody. Yeah, it's just getting you ready for your Friday night, frankly. Cheerio.